Hello everyone, this is Moby the Yarny, and yes, it is Tuesday, so it's Tuesday with Mo, and I am trying something new today. And if you're new here, thank you for stopping by, and if you're a regular, thank you for coming back. And I am going to try tackling it Tuesday. I've heard Erin from Crafting Kitty, she's been doing that, and tackling it is just trying to whittle down all the things you've been working on, which I have a lot of a lot of projects that I've started and haven't quite finished, and there's a few new ones that I've started. And yes, I'm not in my regular studio, I'm in my living room today. I still don't have a studio, but I'm still going to try to make some videos. But my channel is about crocheting, sometimes knitting, and sometimes just showing you some nice yarn that I picked up here and there. But yeah, I'm just going to show you some of the projects I've been working on and trying to get finished. And sometimes I kick myself because I have too many projects going on, but I don't see what's wrong with that. I know a lot of the channels say they try to tame that down, but I think that's part of crocheting inspiration. When you get new yarn and you think of something you could make with that, you might start it right away and maybe think of later when you can, finish it. But I think that's part of being a crocheter. You want to do something with that yarn, and you might start the project when you first get the yarn and then put it aside for when you get other things finished. So I'm going to start with something I've been working on for a while, which takes quite a bit of time. It's a big project that I've been working on, and it's right behind me on this couch. This is a big pooling project I've been working on, and it's quite large. This is the end of it, but it is the length of a twin bed. And for this project, I'm using Red Heart Super Saver stripes and neon. And this is their 5-ounce, 141 grams, 236 yards. And so far I've used maybe 15 of these on the one I have. And I have I have 6 of these left. So when these 6 are done, I will be finished with the project. It's just lengthy because you have to count and keep all of your squares in order. Well, my triangles. You have to count to keep your rows right. So this is a bigger project that I work on once in a while, and it was misplaced. I've got to say, a lot of my yarn I had to clean out my yarn room, and all my yarn is just placed in like 7 or 8 totes, and my projects are scattered, so I had to actually find this in order to show it to you today. So yeah, so that's the major one I'm working on. So that is a major one, and I do have some minor ones, and then I have what I call pop-up ones, which ones that were small and they'll be done in a day or two, and I just maybe did them for the season. Okay, so this is the first one, and this is a long haul one, which would take me, I've been working on it for about 6 months now, I think, maybe longer, but that's that one. So it's the neon stripes, which is Super Saver stripes. That's what I've been working on with that one. And then the sweater, which I've been doing off and on. And the story behind that is I was asked by someone in the grocery store to make one. I was wearing mine. I was wearing my pink hexagon hoodie. I made it into a hoodie. It started out as a sweater, but then I made it into a hoodie, and then someone asked me if I could make them one of those, but they wanted it in their sorority colors. So I found the colors they wanted, and you could tell that it's the hexy, and I'm down to I finished the first sleeve, and I'm getting ready to start the second sleeve, and then I just have to do the hood and seam it up, because I am making a hoodie also, and I am using, which is the first time I've used this yarn before, is Crafter's Secret from Hobby Lobby. Now this comes in, let's see here, it is 810 yards, 740 meters, 16 ounce, 540 grams. It is a medium number 4. It says to use an I9, which is what I used, crochet hook, or US 8 knitting needles. But I found it very easy to work with. It's very soft. They did give a pattern on it, but I did get it when it was on sale. It's usually $11.99 per ball. And so far I've only had to use 2 purple and 1 yellow, because purple is the main, and this is, it's actually sun gold is the yellow color, and purple is the purple that I'm using. So this is one, but I've not been working on it the whole time because the person is not in a hurry to get it, or they haven't said they are, and I haven't heard from them for a while, so it's not like they're in a rush for it. So if they were in a rush for it or asked for it sooner, then yeah, I would finish it really quick. But with all my yarn being displaced, I have not worked on it. So that's the second, probably major one I've been working on. And then I have another blanket. I actually have, 2 other blankets I've been working on, which this one, which is my grandson Dom's blanket, which I'm using for this one. I'm using Loops and Threads Classic, Soft Classics, in the color Blue Ombre. Yes. And it is a medium 4 weight, and it is 214 yards, 4 ounces, 196 meters, 120 grams, but it is very soft and squishy. It actually feels like I ran it through the washer and used fabric softener on it. That's how soft it is. So it is, I'm just kind of repeating rows, and I got the idea for this one from the Easter blanket that I had made, which is actually under this blanket, which is just, I actually have the book right here. It was on the back of, I got this magazine here, which is just create your own crochet blankets, and it was on the back of it called an Easter blanket, which was just basically repeating rows of different stitches. So I thought maybe I'll just do that with this one and just use whatever stitch I feel like using, and that is what I did. So that's what I've been doing for that blanket, and it has a repeat of crossover stitches, some granny stitches, V-stitches, some single, in between them I put single rows. What else was in there? Lattice stitches, cluster rows. Yeah, so that's how that's going. And I have 3 skeins left for that, and then that one will be finished. And that's one I pick up here and there. When I go to the camper, I take it with me and work on it, which I'm going this weekend for the 4th of July. We'll be out there, so that's a project I'll be taking with me. So I'll be working on that. So I'll be taking that. And then I'm still working on, let me find this one again. I always lose it. this Portuguese tile blanket that I started. I have not worked on it for a bit because I've been working on other projects. So, but it's all nice and secure in this bag. I think the last time I worked on it, I did finish the middle section. And this is the middle. Okay, this is the front. I did the middle square and then the surrounding edging that goes around it. And then I have different squares that will go around. I do rows of different squares that go around, and then it'll be more edging that you fill in after I do these squares. So I have to do like 4 of each of these squares, and then I will put them together around what I already have right there, and then I'll be able to piece this all together and do more of this edging that goes around, and then I will put a border on it. But I haven't decided if I'm using the border in the book or if I will make up my own border. It might not even need a border, because if you see they show it a little border that's on here to piece together, but I might put a different scallop border on there. And I'm using, for this one, most of the yarn I'm using is just yarn from Premier from the Dollar Tree. Those were just the colors that I had that I liked. This one is just yellow, and this one is, I think it's called Ballet Slipper. Yes, Ballet Slipper. And then this big white one is actually also from the Dollar Tree, but it's from the premium section. It was $5. And then the only one that's not is the big, this one, which is called Sage, Soft Sage, which is a Caron 1 pound. So that's the only color that's not from the Dollar Tree. But I've been working on this from time to time, but it has been a couple weeks since I picked it up because I have been doing other projects. I just finished like my 3rd baby blanket, and I did not even take a picture of it before I gave it to the person because I wanted to give it to them before they actually had the baby. So I did not get a picture of it. But I did actually start another baby blanket because my second niece is having a baby also. And I did start a blanket for her. Now the last mystery box I got, which I got 2 of them. I got a lot of baby yarn, so I was able to start another one, and it's a corner to corner, and it is, I have Bon Bon Ince, INCE, and let's see, I don't think they put colors on here. They just have color numbers, which is color number 98231. What is this? Baby blue is what I would call it. And it is 100 grams, 300 meters, and everything is in a different language. It just says it's acrylic machine wash, but it has all your little symbols to go by. But I've had a lot of the Bon Bon yarns before, but this is a number 3. So it's good for making the baby. And then I do have this one, which is I know what this is, I just don't have the label on it. It's a Bernat baby yarn, and it's got the little sparkles in it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but soft baby, Bernat soft baby is what it is, and I've had it for years. So, and then I have the rest of a Pound of Love. Yes, white Pound of Love that I'm using for the third baby blanket. I do have another one to start because I probably will finish this one, but that's what I'm using for this one, and it is another corner to corner, and I will put a nice edge on it, but I just started this one, so maybe a day or two ago. So that is one of the pop-up projects that I have been working on. And like I said, sometimes, well, a lot of the times, I will get bored working on the same project for hours at a time. So I will put it down and pick up something else. So I used to feel bad about having so many projects going at the same time, but about having so many whips, as we call them. But I don't anymore because it keeps me from losing my Crojo. Because if I feel overwhelmed with doing the same thing, I will tend to put it down and not even work on it for a long time. So if I'm inspired to do something else, then I'm going to do it, so I don't lose my Crojo. And then a few other projects, well, this is the last one that I've been working on, and it is a shawl, and I have the book for it here, and it's right on the front. It's this shawl here. It's called Sugar and Spice, and it's a bunch of squares that you put together. Some of them are squares and some of them are half. Where are my halves? There's some halves and some full squares to go along with it. And it's not going to take very long, but I haven't worked on it in a few. And this is all scrap yarn that I'm using for it. So save your scrap yarn. You never know what you can use it for. I just saved leftovers. And I thought maybe I'll use pastels for it. This one is, in here they used a multicolored ball of yarn and then white for the trim. But I thought it would be cute using pastel colors. Because of the way they're multicolored changed, it was in different colors. And I thought this would look cute in fall colors also. So maybe I was going to try it in the fall colors. But that's the last one that I've been working on for a while. So I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 main whips that I've been working on for a while. Which, that's not too bad. I thought I actually had more than that, but I'm not too, that's not too bad, I don't think. I actually thought I had more. So 6, yeah, this. Then I have a few pop-ups, I call them. So I think it was 2 years ago I made this giant bag for, I made it for the beach, to take stuff to the beach, but of course I ended up filling it up with yarn. Yeah, so it holds a lot of yarn. And right now I have yarn in any place I can put yarn, because I didn't think I had that much yarn until I had to move it, and then I ran out of places to put it. So I think every room in my house has yarn, except maybe the dining room and the kitchen. There's no yarn in there. So then I made a regular size. I got in the last mystery box 6 of these Yarnspiration Handicrafter cotton. Yeah, and then this colorway is Fleur de Lavender is what the colorway is. And it's close to the original bag that I made. And this bag is a pattern by Stephanie Zed. So I decided to make another one. And this took two and a half of this size ball, which these are 1.5 ounce, 42.5 grams, 71 yards. So it took 2.5 of these to make this bag. And I just made it regular this time. No partition in the middle. And then I had some of these left over because I got a bunch of these to make the soap sacks. And then I only got a few made, and then she had more than enough, so I didn't need them. But I had made a round bag. It was like the same design, but I made it round on the bottom and longer, and then a handle on the top. And I already gave it to my grandson. He wants to use it for dirty clothes for when we go camping. But I had 4 of these, so I used 2 of them to make him that, but I already gave it to him. But I'm going to make another one, and then I want to do a tutorial for that design because it is my own design and it's different, and it holds quite a bit of stuff. So I want to do a tutorial for that one. And I love this, the K and C. I'm not sure if we can get this anymore because it was from Joann's, but I will look up and see. I'm going to look into this to see if we can actually get the K and C anymore. Because this is a very soft cotton. If not, I'll have to find cotton that is this soft. Because this is great for wearables too, this K&C cotton. It's 100% cotton, essential cotton, it says. But yeah, look for that. If not, I will find cotton that's close to it. And another pop-up thing I was doing was headbands. My grandson likes headbands. He said my headbands are Sigma. I don't know if any of you have heard these expressions from the kids these days, but that's what he says. Their school actually had to ban the kids saying Sigma and Skibbity and all these new words that they're saying. But I made him this one, and this was just out of scrap yarn, and it's just a plain headband. And then I decided to make some for the 4th of July, so I made this one. Yeah, here's this one. It's red, white, and blue, and I put a big star on it. I was going to put them on, but I had a headband that matches this, and I couldn't find it. I don't know which bag I put it in. But here's this one. And then I made this one with 3 little stars. But I have to recenter either the blue one or the red one because they're not centered properly. I just noticed that. I think I got it off when I was sewing it. And I made them out of, this is, the red is Red Heart Super Saver Metallic, and the color is red, just red. And then I have, this one is Red Heart Super Saver Metallic in white. And then I had, this one is, this was a, I don't have the wrapper from it, but it was a big twist. and it was sapphire, the color sapphire, and it's metallic, and it was left over from some Christmas projects I was doing. But those, I did those for the 4th of July, just red, white, and blue, and the little stars. The stars I made from Hooked by Robin. She had a tutorial for the stars, so I looked that up. And this poncho is my poncho, my summer poncho, my own design, which I planned on doing a tutorial for this also. Once I get my desk back, I can start doing them, or I could do them at the table. But that is what I've been up to over the past couple weeks. It's been 2 weeks since I did a video, but I'm still crocheting and still trying to keep up with all the stuff and the things. And I've been watching new people to see what other people are doing. Of course, I watch Creative Grandma, and I watch Crochet with Lulu, and I watch who do I watch most of the time? I watch a lot of people. Hooked by Robin I've been watching, and I've been watching new people, but I can't remember their name. I'm gonna have to write them down because, yeah, I can't remember things. I've just been looking at new things to make. I like to watch a bunch of people make different things, and then it inspires me to make stuff. Or I look through magazines that I have and that I've had for a while, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I was gonna make that. And then all the yarn, I'm rediscovering all the yarn that I already have. I'm like, what was I gonna do with this? So yeah, I think I need to start with a journal, which Creative Grandma was talking about, and she was showing some of the journals she picked up on Amazon, because we buy the yarn and then we forget what we have it for. Yeah, of course I watch Crafting Kitty all the time. I do watch the lady in Alaska who's always doing the hats and the dishcloths, but my mind is calling a blank right now, but I'll remember it after I stop. But those are what I've been working on, and I do have the yarn for a lot of blankets that'll be coming up, because it's time to redo the blankets for all the grandkids again. So those will be coming up in the future. I'm just trying to get the ones finished that I was working on before I start new ones, but maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just start new ones and work them on at the same time. But I thank you for joining me today, and I am Moby the Yarny, and I'm still yarning. So I will see you on my next video, and I thank you for joining me, and think of something to be thankful for today. There's always something. If you're hot where you are and you have air conditioning, be thankful for that. We've had a round of very, very hot weather in the 90s and very humid, and usually my husband doesn't want to use the air conditioner, but he wants to use it now. So I'm thankful that we have it, or I would be like suffocating. So I will see you on my next video, and I will try to tackle some of these projects down, and I will probably start some new projects because I have a lot in mind. So I will see you on my next video next Tuesday. Thank you.